Hello friends, this is Raman Gill with your daily Forex market analysis for October 21st, 2016. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. If you have questions about your investment needs, I recommend you talk to your investment advisor. Let's start off by taking a look at our calendar for Friday, October 21st. In the morning, we have public sector net borrowing for British pound, followed by German BOBA President Weidmann speaking. There's also the EU summit going on, so if there are any comments that come out of that, that will be important. Otherwise, we don't really have any red news for the London session. Going into the US session here, we have Canadian core CPI and core retail sales, which will have an impact on any of the Canadian crosses, dollar CAD, and anything else that you may be trading. But other than that, we don't really have any news for the US or Euro or the British pound coming out for the US session. So things should be relatively calm in regards to the US dollar. Let's move on to the charts here. Here we are taking a look at Euro US dollar daily chart. We had a big push up in Euro at the start of the New York session. The ECB kept the interest rates the same, and they did not cut the expectations for an extension on QE. They're actually maintaining status quo. So at this point, they did not comment on whether they were going to extend the stimulus program or they were going to start reducing it. What they said was they'll keep it the same till end of March 2017, and then this December, after they get more data, they'll be able to make a decision whether they're extending the program or not. At this point, they left it open, and as a result, the market took that as negative, and the level that we were watching here got hit, the 109.20 level, and now we are finally breaking down to the downside. So once we get a bearish close like this, we are expecting a follow through. This is also the range that the price was trading within for the last few days. We broke out of that range, and now we are looking for a further move to the downside. In terms of the level, we are looking at 108.20. This one, 108.20, as the next support and resistance level in terms of the target. So for tomorrow, based on the daily candlestick here, we are bearish on Euro. Looking at the British pound US dollar here, we did see price trading in the range. The price tried to push through on the upside, failed, and today we had a bearish candle close. However, it's a small candle here. I am looking for a follow through to the downside here. Do keep in mind though, because the candle is so small, it could go to the upside. We have to be mindful of that. At this point, we will treat this as a range bound market, and we are looking for it to come down towards the bottom of the range. So this is very range bound for the British pound. Looking at the 1 hour chart here, this is the pivot point. If we see that the price stays below the pivot point, we would be looking for a move down into this S1 level at 12200, and if this breaks, then we are going back into 1.2160, the S2 level. At this point, the pivot point and this support and resistance level is the critical one. This is the neckline that it broke through. Now if it stays below this, it will be bearish for pound US dollar. Looking at the New Zealand daily chart here, we have a very bearish candle close. As a result of that, we would expect a follow through, and we're looking for price to come down. In terms of the target, I would be watching 71.50 level as the target here. Looking at the 1 hour chart here, we do see a push up into the R1 level and then a drop from there. And now we did not pull back very much and just have dropped. The target is this one right here, this support and resistance level, 71.50 approximately. We could come down slightly. However, that is our target at present, this 71.50-ish area. And below that, we would be targeting the 7100 level. Aussie US dollar here, very bearish close for the day, and at this point we would expect a follow through. We could see this price pull back before it drops though, and in terms of a pullback, we could look for pivot point as a potential pullback area. So we would be looking for price to move into this pivot point at 76.60 area, and if the price stays below this support and resistance area, we're looking for a follow through to the downside. Overall, based on the daily candle close, we are bearish on Aussie dollar. The Canadian US dollar here, we saw a pin bar in the bottom and then a follow through to the upside here. Based on this bullish candle close, we'll be expecting the price to push back up, and the target here is 13300, this support and resistance area here. This is very bullish. Looking at the 1 hour chart though, we could see the price pull back into pivot here as well, or slightly higher into 132.20 area and then do a move to the upside. So that is an option, looking for a pullback into 132.20 or potentially into the pivot point at 3190 or 13200. So those are the potential pullback levels. Overall, we are bullish on dollar CAD and expecting a move to the upside. We do have Canadian dollar news coming out tomorrow, so do be careful with that because that could change the direction of the market. Otherwise, we are bullish on dollar CAD. So that's it for today. I will see you in the trade room.